You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
And I want you to ask any teacher how they feel this year, and I'm sure that they will tell you that they have never experienced anxiety like this, because it is like we are trying to protect our students from a mass shooting that we know is coming, but cannot do anything about. Except we can do something about it. It's just that not everyone agrees that wearing a mask will stop the onslaught of students and staff who are likely to become sick, and that makes me sick. And in the meetings that I have been to since we've been back, I hear teachers planning like regular, but I also hear them having conversations about finding affordable attorneys so that they can make a will.
Teachers considering making a will because they have to go back into classrooms and maybe the kids are not under a mandate wearing a mask. This is August 18, 2021. Those remarks from a Texas teacher upset that Governor Abbott will not mandate masks in the schools. And I'm sure she and many of those all pushing for the mandates for the mask for children, young children, are probably very happy to hear that Governor Abbott of Texas has come down with COVID. But he's okay. He's been vaccinated. He's one of the breakthrough cases now. So see, when you're vaccinated, it's still going to come around. He's isolating, as he should at this point. But this teacher identifies herself as, quote, a blue dot in a red state. Is she truly frightened, as you see and hear on that audio and that video, or is she acting? I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that she's truly concerned. And all of the warped information that she's been gathering and the push to put fear into people, she's bought in full. I will stress to you again, you need to make the decision that you see for you and your family. But if your family has decided we don't want to get masked, we don't want them on our faces of our children all the day they're in school, especially younger ones, and we're not going to get vaccinated for our kids at this point, that's your choice. Of course, now we have some states and others stepping up and some school districts inside Texas saying we're going to force it anyway. We're going to have more on COVID and its developments and reference teachers and how they're doing. Now, that teacher went on public social media to express her views. There's another teacher from Utah that was caught on camera, and she apparently knew she was being recorded and didn't really give a damn because she's going to do what she wants. It's her class, as she said, and she is on a rampage, and she is clearly pushing indoctrination, political indoctrination, and she's a chemistry teacher, supposedly. We'll have that for you. Biden, of course, blaming Trump for the chaos in Afghanistan. You have to keep in mind it was public the Taliban was sweeping across the country, seizing 30% plus of the country before they got to Kabul. We could see that all happening. It was documented. So last night, former President Trump was on Sean Hannity and was asked, what would you have done if the Taliban had violated your agreement and seized even 5% of the country?
We would have hit them very hard. Again, the words are conditions, plural, conditions-based. It was an agreement where actually we wanted to get out by May 1st, and they violated the agreement, so we didn't. It's a great agreement from a lot of different standpoints. And frankly, Biden didn't have to even go by that agreement.
That's right. Look what he's done with the other agreements, our stay in Mexico policy and opening the border. He's thrown all those out. But this one, he said, well, I was handcuffed by Trump by this agreement. No, you weren't. And in fact, if Trump had still been in office and they started making that move across Afghanistan before they ever got to Kabul, as I just described, he would have responded. He said we would have hit them and made it. He said, I told the Taliban leaders I was talking to, we will begin by hitting your villages. So you keep that in mind. He also points out that as he invited the Taliban to the White House for a meeting, Then they decided to kill a U.S. soldier. And he said, I canceled that meeting. They thought they could deal by that kind of stuff. We're not going to do that. But Biden claims, I couldn't do anything about it. I was just stuck with it. And, of course, when it comes to the evacuation plan, Biden said it's not going to be anything like Saigon 95. Trump says, and I agree, this is even worse. This is the most humiliating thing we've seen. We're also going to be joined by James Carafano of Heritage Foundation on how Biden's blunder will fuel Islamic terrorism. It's like a match to gasoline. We got a lot to cover the next 2 hours. Let your friends and family know we're on the air. Lock and load. Ready on the right.
You can email Larry at LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com. LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com.